I'm Jorge Richardson. I am a 2021 TERP. I was supposed to graduate in 2018, but things happen in their own time. And I am a major in finance. I think that entrepreneurship isn't binary. I don't think it's either you are or you're not an entrepreneur. I think that everybody in the world has entrepreneurship in their body and in their DNA, who they are, just like we have blood and oxygen. You are an entrepreneur. So you really, the classic definition of starting a business, I really didn't do till after graduation, but way before then, I liked to say that I fostered my entrepreneurial spirit since I was young. And I think that's a pretty, common underlie with a lot of people is what are traits, what are things that you can do in an entrepreneurial ways. A series of life events happened that led me to get into the entrepreneurship space, co-founding a startup specifically in water, and that really led to founding Hope. Basically after graduation, I moved to Europe and helped co-found a startup, and we wanted to bring water into your pocket as best as we could, not quite literally, but so we built an app that showed you everywhere you could drink water for free around the world. And really, it was user testing. Like, the anecdote was I was traveling to Barcelona, and the map routes me to the nearest water fountain in the center of this park, and it's beautiful. It's probably 300-400 years old. The sculpture, it's like a work of art. But there's no way that I'm ever going to drink water from it. It was old, it was crusty, it was outdated, and so there was a massive realization was cities and governments around the world are prioritizing so much money to fix water infrastructure because it solves massive issues. But there hasn't been a company that's yet to redefine the user experience around drinking water. And so that's why we have bend over water fountains that no one uses in cities, instead of having well thought out, well planned, beautiful infrastructure that you can basically walk to within 5 minutes anywhere you are in the world. What's my role with Hope? I'm the founder and CEO. We founded about a year ago, so May 2020. There's now 6 of us on the team, and really, we've got a couple milestones. If I look 10 years down the line, and I'm imagining or envisioning what the cities of the future look like, I imagine water going through a similar transition that electric vehicle charging is going through right now, where on the highest level, massive bills are being pushed to build networks out of EV charging. Well, drinking water is going to have the same, impact, because it really is a commodity of the future and solves 2 major problems. So as I'm looking and thinking about the cities of the future, I think that you should be able to walk less than 5 minutes and find clean, high quality, sustainable drinking water anywhere. And so we're really, really trying to work with some of the largest cities in the world on realizing that vision. We're starting with Atlanta as our first launch, specifically Gwinnett County and Los Angeles. So those are kind of our 2 pilot cities. I think that there is a stigma behind entrepreneurship and being a CEO and starting a business that you need to really be ready and have the idea and go for it. Matter of fact is most of the companies that exist right now have gone through complete redesigns and complete transitions and complete iterations and are completely different businesses than their inception. So with Hope, really, the grand vision that we have now didn't always start the way it was. And it started with something very small, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And as you start building stuff and learning about the world and actually seeing it and getting feedback, then it's very, very apparent where the future of your company lies. So I would say the advice behind that is just start with something, and it's something as small as you can. If you want to start a marketplace, have an Excel sheet and track your, go and sell to people in person and track it on an Excel sheet. You don't have to have, a whole website made. Start with something really, really small and grow on that. Start with something small and seek out the resources, because there's so many and basically everything that now we have to pay for because we're in the real world and we're a company. There's ways to get it for free as a Smith student. So there's a lot of resources and a lot of help. The other day, Kevin Plank gave the commencement speech for Smith, and he talks about what it is to be a TERP and being proud. He basically said there's 2 things, two keys to success. I think that he was referring to was 1 was bet on TERPs, and 2 was be an entrepreneur. And I think that those ring really, really, really true. Is Maryland has got this, and as cliche as it sounds, this fighting spirit where you're always moving forward. And there's a community to help you do that. And by tapping into the right groups within Smith and within the University of Maryland, there is so much support that you will always keep moving. And be an entrepreneur, right? Everybody should try to embody those characteristics as much as you can. some advice I'd give to an entrepreneur who has a very solid idea or very solid passion. They know what they want to pursue. And then I think the larger bucket of people who don't know yet. Quite simply, if you've got an idea that you think has potential that you believe in, close your eyes and go for it. There were two Maryland, they're not alum, they actually dropped out, but started a startup, good friends of mine, that gave me the same advice. They said, what are you doing? Close your eyes and go for it. And that was the best advice I could ever have.